Yeah, my bitch told me to shake that drink before I drink it because she wanted my drink to be dilated. She wanted my drink to be diluted. She wanted me to shake, but I didn't shake that drink. I just drank that drink straight up, no shaking in this. When we consume that hydration, whatever the means be. I never shake my drink. I let the sediment settle. Ooh, I never cared for the patterns of her tea kettle. Motherfuckers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Glad you made it. So super ducky. I never shake my drink. I just drink it straight out the bottle. Oh, don't want to see me waddle. What's going on? Bitches, beautiful bitches out there. Beautiful, sexy ladies and gentlemen. Boys and beautiful boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen. The beautiful people all around the world. Wherever you're tuning in from. Whether it's Toronto, in the Canadas, walk one, me familiar, further down south. The United States of America, of course, the 50 states, the most beautiful states, further down south, Mexico, over there in Venezuela, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, Nicaragua, over there in Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, of course, Senegal, over there in Nairobi, Cote d'Ivoire, over there in south of France, over there in Ireland, in Jamaica. Hope everybody's doing well. Get a sip of this bad boy right here. Let me just get a sip of this shit right here. That's what it is, baby. They want you to shake that drink. They just want you to shake it up. Get all the you want the sugar and the liquid to mix. I let that sugar settle, son. I let the mixing begin when it hits the diaphragm. What you know about that? It's that life that we be living. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, November. Holy shit, that's right. October's done and November the 5th, 2025. Thank you for joining me once again. Hope you're all doing well wherever you're tuning in from. Lots of fun to be had. Again, if you've been with me from the get-go, you know what it is. We just shoot the shit, have the funs, talk about this, that, and the other. And yeah, let's begin in no particular order. Let's see what happens. Let's see where it goes. I have seen this beautiful breed of dogs, beautiful breed of bitches out there that I'd like to, I want one. I want one of these. I don't know what the full story is, because who knows really what the full story is with anything. But I believe there are these blue dogs at Chernobyl. I don't know where they came from. It's from Chernobyl. That's where they came from. How did they turn blue? That's what I want to know, and that's what the people want to know, all right? Blue dogs at Chernobyl. So it's roughly 40 years ago, Chernobyl had an accident, a nuclear accident. Back in the day, it was the former Soviet Union, now currently Ukraine. I don't want to get into that shit, but nonetheless, nuclear accident, and some people died, and thousands of people had to be evacuated. And then later on, some more people died. And then sometime after that, some people developed some diseases, and then they died too. The numbers of people who died, I don't know, because good luck trying to prove certain things. But nonetheless, people died. And that's 40 years ago. So we're over it by now. We're over it now. You got, first we had the wolves who have become anti-cancerous, which they don't get cancer no more because they've been maybe exposed to radiation, which is kind of bueno, not gonna lie. We talked about that previously, but these ones are different. These are dogs that have turned blue. Why have they turned blue? I'm gonna go say it's because of radiation. I'm gonna go, without actually having any knowledge of what is going on, I'm gonna say it's radiation exposure. Why do they turn blue? Who knows? But I like it. I like it. Could it be some sort of, dye that they used to mark the dogs or tag the dogs to, to say these blue dogs have been treated for, I don't know, hepatitis. These blue dogs no longer use chopsticks. Been treated. But I'm gonna say no, I don't like those. I like the radiated dogs. I like the dogs that have been exposed and are busy outside exposing themselves as well. I like those dogs. I want one because it's colorful. We've never seen this before. Will they be able to pass this on to their gene pool for the next set of offspring? You know them bitch pups. You know what I'm talking about. So I want one. Is there a causation or correlation between the blue and green haired bitches that we see roaming around the streets and these dogs in Chernobyl? Have those bitches been exposed to radiation? That's what I want to know. Is there a package? Will we see these bitches in Chernobyl get septum piercings is my question to the public. Leave an answer, leave a comment, write a letter, high five your postman. Put your feet up and let your wife tickle them for you. Do whatever makes you happy is what I'm trying to say. I want one of these blue bitches because they are, I don't know what the cause is. Will they be able to, will they be able to outrun Rudolph and Christmas? You know what I'm talking about? Catch that motherfucking reindeer right there. Him and his red nose. We coming at you with that blue, son. I want one. Because I believe it's gonna get a lot of puss for me. I believe it'll get a lot, because regular dogs will get you a good enough amount of puss. But a blue dog, where'd you come from? How'd you get so blue? Do you give off any sort of, is there nuclei in you? Can we extract you and use your fusion? Hot or cold, doesn't matter. I want one of these dogs. Will they lick you and will you turn radiant? That's my question, because sometime there comes a time in every man or woman's life when your dog might be going down on you. I'm not talking about personal experience, but I'm talking about for you, the viewer. That's the people. You might want, and so what if your dog licks your snatch? You're wondering, will my snatch turn into a radiant snatch? These are the questions that I want answers to, and together we will find them, ladies and gentlemen. So that's Dogs of Chernobyl. Holla at your boy. Who let the dogs out? Still remains an unsolved mystery. Beginning to close in on the answer. That I think I've got I think I kind of have it figured out as to who let the dogs out. We have to retrace our steps and see who let the dogs in. Step by step. What have we been talking about? I don't know. It's Wednesday and I'm just excited to be alive. Another beautiful day. Thank you for joining me. Been thinking about this one. I've thought about it before. I'll think about it some more maybe in the future. No one's going to stop me from thinking about stuff, particularly stuff that I'm interested in. I'm talking about voices, ladies and gentlemen. Voices. How do we get voices? Because I love people with voices. I'm not talking about, I don't hate on the mute if you're, if you're audibly impaired, if you are, if you're on that low volume frequency, I still got loves for yous, but I'm talking about voices, because people have so many different, we have 8 billion people creeping and crawling all over this planet, and everybody's got a distinct voice. Everybody's got their own pitch, but I just wonder, where does it come from? Is it innate, is it biological, or is it cultural is my concern? Or is it a combination of both, or neither? Where does it come from? That's the question of the day. Where do voices come from? Because beautiful thing about Toronto, and if you live in a city like Toronto, or if you live anywhere else in Canada or the United States, or places that are some parts of Europe, I suppose, the UK, London, England is one of those probably places. I haven't been to Australia, but maybe another example of the places that have different people from all around the world intermingling and whatnot. You hear different voices and different sounds coming out of people. And it's just intriguing. I wonder, where do people get their voices from? Because I heard, I'll hear on an average day in Toronto, I might hear like 10 different, tones or types of voice. And it's just interesting. I'll meet a few brothers who've just recently arrived, and they're talking with that low baritone. And I'm just wondering, because then you see brothers who've been here for many generations, and then it's just like, it's got that North American quote unquote tone to it, as but I'm talking about voices though, because you see a few brothers talking that low baritone, and I just wondered myself, if I were to be placed, let's say somewhere, let's say I was in Nigeria, let's say I was same person but placed in Nigeria from a young age, would I have would I have that gravitas? Would I have that same, just low, nice, loud but low? Would I get that? Would I have that? I wonder, how much is it, how much of voices is it affected by the people around you, by your community, by your call? How much of it is innately your own voice? It's an interesting, because it's an instrument. And how do you learn a language? You learn a language by mimicking your parents, by learning from your parents, your community, your friends, family members. So yeah, I kind of low-key want to meet myself, the version of myself in a parallel universe, in the multiverse that is. The guy that was placed in somewhere like, let's say again, Nigeria or Jamaica. Oh, It's different. You see it all around you. You know, I'll meet a new family who's just come from, you know, somewhere in Southeast Asia. They'd be all like, you know, be a little bit quiet, they'd be a little bit whispery, they'd be a little bit, and then you know, you get to meet beautiful Asians who've been here since, I don't know, ancestrally since like the railroad days, you know, and they're just again talking about voices. They're talking with that, you know, North American sound and voice, and it's interesting. I wonder where it comes from. I like just talking about it right now out loud. I think it's a mixture of both, maybe mixture of both. I don't know, but that's just something neither here or there that I found interesting. And yeah, if you find it interesting, you know, go down on your wife. Good. We're all on the same page then. Let's take a trip over to Holland, the Netherlands, the beautiful Dutch, the Deutsch. There was a incident in Deutschland, in Holland, in the Netherlands, and by the way, it's too many names for a place. It is a little bit, but nonetheless, I'll let it pass for now. But this incident caught my attention, and I'm just wondering, you know, and the Dutch are good people. The Dutch have, you know, I've been to your beautiful country. It's nice. Been to Holland, been to the Netherlands. It's nice. But there, you know, there was an incident that came up on my radar. Fruit flies, ladies and gentlemen. A truck packed with fruits was on the highway or the road, and it crashed. And you see images of fruits flying all around, up in the air, being smashed, being run over by other cars. You might catch that video online somewhere if you're into that shit. And it just got me to think, when is it gonna stop? Deutsch people, when is the madness gonna stop? What is your beef with fruits? What is this, you know, devil may care attitude towards fruits and vegetables? Why do you hate on fruits and why do you mishandle fruits and vegetables so freely and not care? I mean, it is still, it's the, I don't know what it is. Is it that level of Deutsch nonchalance attitude overall towards life, you know? Is it your canals? Is it the canals? Is it the cycling that gets you going, that puts you in that mindset? I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it needs to stop. I'm just saying I'm seeing a pattern here. And I'd like some answers. Why do you mistreat your fruit so often? And so, you know, just mishandling it. Is it negligence? Is it that you have too many fruits? Is this video and the items in this, the fruits, are the fruits code for the gay? For the gay. Is fruits code for gay? Was this a message sent? Is it a layered message? Fruits in a truck crashes, fruits flying in the air. Do you low-key want to see the gays in a truck potentially flying in the air? Is this what this is? Because this could easily be this. It could also be other things. But I'm beginning to deduce that it might be this. So to the Deutsch, to the people of Holland, I say, what you've done now is that you've not crossed the line. You've not crossed the line. You have, here's the line. There's you all the way over there, down there, my Deutsch. All right? So, just want to say it's 2025. How you treat your fruits is directly correlated to how you treat the gay. How you pee in one stream is how you pee on all streams. And I'll let that statement speak for itself, as I believe it clearly does. What else is going on? Maryland, US. Beautiful Maryland, never been, like to visit. But there's a man recently, and he was dressed, he disguised himself as a woman, went into the local gym bathroom, shower area, and photographed nude photographs of images of the females in the female bathroom / shower of the gym facility, the gymnasium facility. This is Maryland. And I believe he's facing consequences. I'm not sure how severe it'll be, but I do gotta say, I think it's a sad day. It's a sad day that we have to see this out, because this man was just trying to bring forward authentic, raw images of females in the gym shower, in the gym bathroom. And for us to go after him as a society and say, oh, he's a bad man. He was just trying to authentically be himself and get in there, and people are upset about this because bitches be complaining, oh, he's in the female shower and he's trying to take our images without our consent while we're showering. He is not gonna go ahead and say it's an art form. It is an art form. When you are wondering to yourself, how could I get images of females in showers, authentic, not scripted shit. This isn't, a lot of things are pre-planned and scripted. These images that you see, you're like, I'm looking for the authentic. And this guy was out there, boots to the ground, high heels probably to the ground, or at least female sneakers. He's wearing those sneakers. That's female sneakers, that's right. And he's getting in there. And he's trying to do something good. Bring images of titties and vag to the populace. And what does the greedy populace do? Throw them to the lions. Throw them to the lions, throw them under the train, let the elephants trample them, let the heavy hand of the law, the gavel of the judicial system, lay down upon him as a sumo wrestler would lay down on the can, taking a dump. This breaks my heart, because I do see people are trying out there to bring authentic, in an age where we have AI images, AI videos, AI music, AI printed art, AI, but there is and then you have somebody who is going out there trying to capture real life images, documenting really, and all of a sudden we got to get all upset as to why this man was allowed to disguise himself as a woman and go inside the female bathroom / showers in the gym facility. So please, next time, remove yourself from the situation. You and I might not enjoy those videos, but there's certainly somebody out there who will be enjoying those videos. But guess what? Now it's going to be more difficult for them to get a bunch of those, because there's now less of them, because there's individuals like this who are being persecuted in public. It's like a witch hunt. Take a good look at yourself. Are you proud of yourselves? You happy now? You satisfied? This man was just trying to provide a service, and now who knows what will happen to him. It's a sad day, ladies and gentlemen. It's a sad, sad day when we have men, good men, who dress up as females and want to just do a little bit of peep and Tom, and all of a sudden everybody's losing their mind. It's, get over yourselves, all right? Let's take a trip together to Sacramento, California. There's a company called California Cultured, if I'm not mistaken, and they are proclaiming that they want to produce lab-grown chocolate I don't even know where to begin with this one. Lab-grown chocolate, they say this shit is unbelievable. I mean, we're talking about people here. We're talking about people here. We're not talking about some objects. We're not talking about some lab-grown ebonics. Is that what I'm getting? Lab-grown ebony, that's what you want to put out there? The real thing ain't good enough for you? You gotta make lab-grown chocolate? That's what you refer to them? They're people. First, they're not just a flavor of the month. They're not just some shade on your coloring scheme. They're not just, those are good enough examples. They're people. Lab-grown chocolate, ladies and gentlemen. This is disgusting. I don't know how I feel about it, but my intuition tells me that this is wrong. This is wrong. California culture, you should be ashamed of yourselves. It's 2025. What makes you think you can pick a distinct group of people and say, we want to make a whole batch of lab-grown chocolate, and you think people are going to accept this? You think people are going to swallow this? If this gets approved, we might be seeing California culture go after, I don't know, a group of people just say, oh, we want to now create lab-grown vanillas. They are people. They are people. They're people. You can't just put a flavor on a group of individuals and say, oh, the whites are the vanillas, the blacks are the chocolate. What are you gonna do? What's next? What's next? If we stop and let this take place, it is a spiral that I'm not sure society is ready to go down. And who knows if we'll be able to make it back if we do decide to spiral down this path. But I'm telling you right now, this is, excuse me a second. Thank you. This just came in from my team of hardworking individuals who apparently I've made a mistake, and it turns out that the lab-grown chocolate is simply referring to chocolate as in edible chocolate, as this, they're trying to make lab-grown. Excuse me a second. We sure about this whole, it's just regular chocolate, huh? They want to make lab-grown chocolate? Yeah, I get that. Instead of the traditional cacao chocolate. Is that nothing to do with ebonics, eh? Nothing to do. You sure about that? All right. Hello. This is so embarrassing. It appears as though my team has made a mistake, and somebody will get spoken to. I'm not gonna take the fall on this one. Apparently it has nothing to do with, I thought it was about ebony, because apparently it's not, it's just about chocolate. Well, okay, fine then, fine. Still, it's not as bad as we thought, but if it starts with it's chocolate now, they want to create lab-grown chocolate. Think about that. If farmers who are, rolling up their ripped pants, and you're like, why are you rolling it up? It's already, you live in it's the third world part of the world. You have no pants, your pants are ripped, and you're not doing it out of because it's like stylish or something. It's just you can't afford more pants, but you roll them up a little bit so you can stomp on those cacao beans. I don't even know if that's what they do, but they probably do. You've seen them stomping, or you know people stomping on beans in other places, and then we get to consume the goods. And so think of those guys. If those guys can't be stomping on beans, what are their children gonna do? They're not gonna have any trees to climb. Their kids are not gonna have any trees to climb if we stop producing cacao and consuming regular chocolate. So think about that. That's right. That tree's gonna be gone. That kid in the fourth world is Fucking just rolling on dirt. That's what his future is, rolling on just pure dirt. Because you're like, oh, I just tried lab-grown chocolate. So there you go, still not happy with it. Not as bad as initially I thought it was. So you start letting them fucking produce chocolate folk. Next thing you know, the whole porn category is just lab-grown. I don't want to see that shit. So I still firmly believe this is the wrong path to go down on. But nonetheless, maybe there is room for both. Fine. If you're still wearing a mask, I guess you could consume the lab-grown chocolate. There. Some for everybody. Someone's getting fired today. I'll make sure of it. What else is going on? This one, oh yeah. Been watching this one from the side, from the outside, looking to try to what's going on. New York, the city where the night never comes. The city that is anti-night. The city that wants to keep you sleep deprived and run around, because this city don't believe in sleep. This city is the antithesis of sleep. If you like catching Z's, you better pack your bags, get on a bus, and get the fuck out of New York, because that's not what this city's built. This city's built on bags, tea bags under your eyes. The city's built on bloodshot eyes. This city's built on skyscrapers built by men, and some, maybe a few females, maybe a couple of them, maybe some heavy, some barrel-shaped broad. Maybe she got under there, and who knows? The point is, this is one of the greatest cities on planet Earth. Some people say that. Some people believe it. Some people really would like to wear those t-shirts that it says, I heart NY. You guys had your mayoral race is concluded, if I'm not mistaken. I've been seeing this, I've been hearing it, I've not really, don't know. It's too far, close but far. I'm not quite sure, not kept up with it, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's politics, it's all gay on a macro and micro level, but nonetheless, it's a part of our lives. You can't escape it, apparently. So, mayoral race. It's a race about may or may to oral or not to oral. That's the mayoral race. May we oral or may we not oral? And I believe the consensus when we look at it, it's generally the public likes to mayoral. We like to both get ahead, and go down and eat the puss. We like to do that. So that's the mayoral. We'd like to be able to have the ability to. Somebody asked a long time, may we or may we not oral? Generally speaking, except one out of the 10 doctors said they don't agree with it and they don't approve of it. But the 9 other doctors who were sufficiently paid said yes, may oral. So we may today still do oral. We may. The point of this is that there was a race to see who may oral is best. And Mamdani is one, I believe. Mamdani is, don't know much. There was 3 candidates. Cuomo, Komodo, Dragon, Komodo Dragon, Kumio, Como, no yeah, New York said no Como. New York said, and in the past they said other stuff as well, but that changed. It was a time. A lot of people around the world used to say, but then now things change. So, no Como today. Maybe Como is acceptable 5-10. The public wasn't ready for it, People say they're changing their way of, perception, looking at life, and are, open-minded. And so, but no Como today, maybe down the line. So that was and there was another guy who's Silva. He wore that beret, the red beret. I don't know much. I'm a little bit familiar with what I think he's a guardian angel on the subways in New York, where him and his, it's like I don't know quite what it is. I believe it's like It's like a vigilante group sort of thing. I don't know. They do social work by going on the subways and intimidating anybody who's intimidating regular folks. So, they're kind of like enforcers, but good enforcers. They're good. He wore that hat, he wore that beret, which made him look like kind of look like a character out of, I don't know, Street Fighter from like the Sega days or the Nintendo days. One of those, you know what I'm talking about. He's one of those cats. He looked like, so it was this guy, Como, Silva, and then you had this other guy, Zohran Mamdani, and then that dude. And that guy, I don't know much about any of these candidates. That guy, Como, independent, Silva, I think he was repping the Reds, Bloods. I think he was Bloods. I think he's repping the conservative side. Is that right? I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. And then Mamdani is repping the Democrats, the left, and he won. I don't know much about Zohran except some of the things that I've heard. He's a younger fella. He's a younger guy, one of the youngest young men to be out there. One of the youngest guys. He's young. He's super young. He's so young that there's no one younger than him. He's that young. That's one of the things that he is. And this news. This is, I guess, congratulate. I believe who brought in this election? Who brought in the victory? I guess you could thank some of the people. This victory is brought to you by some of the people who were responsible for 9/11. Some of the people. I'm not supposed to. I don't know exactly who. Some of the people. I believe because he's Muslim. So there you go. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. I don't know anything about anything, but I believe this particular mayoral election was brought to you partially by some of the people involved in 9/11. There may have been other ones who were involved in 9/11. As I don't know, but I'd still like to be able to hopefully one day, it doesn't matter who else was involved. That's what you and I need to just, so it's bills need to get paid and things need to, it's just, who knows, it doesn't matter. The point is that everybody needs to work. That's the important thing to remember is that, so Muslim guy just got elected as the mayoral. And this is, what else do I know about him? I know he likes to eat with his feet. I know he likes to eat with his dirty feet. That's what I've heard. So congratulations, you just voted for somebody who likes to eat using nothing but his feet. How fucking disgusting is that? You guys are, man. I guess it's you see the consumption of porn feed online. There's probably a causation between that and why the population. He eats with his feet, and you guys voted for him. He eats biryani with his. I've heard he takes the biryani and just rubs it on his ass. He doesn't even chew or swallow. He just puts it on his ass and consumes the nutrients in an upward fashion. I think he's fighting with gravity through his asshole. I'm not quite sure. He smeared it. I've not seen it, but he grabbed it with his hands and feet. The biryani was rubbed in the anus area. And this is how these people apparently consume food. So, not all, some. Who are these people? I'm just saying, I believe if I see, he's a jihadist if I'm not mistaken. So, there you go, New York, congratulations. That's 5 times during the day where you're gonna have to, in your busy days, you're gonna have to get down on your knees and pray to Allah. Better start speaking that Arabic. That's what's gonna happen to you jihadist sons of. I believe he's a jihadi. That's from what I don't know him. This is from stuff that I've seen. Again, smears biryani on his ass. All right. Sleeps on a bed that's got spikes coming out. He sleeps on a bed of nails. That's what I've heard. He's a jihadist. I believe he was, if not directly involved in 9/11, had something to do with it on the background, the low, because he was young back. But nonetheless, these people, I'm just saying, so be careful of that. Jihadis are now in good. So you're 5 times praying, and 5 to not even once, 5 times. You're gonna have to call a prayer, okay? New York is now gonna go through a transition period where you're gonna all be wearing burqas, headscarves, protective headgear, fucking Your shoelaces are all gonna be you're gonna be wearing sandals, motherfuckers. And it's winter time, and I know New York is relatively close in terms of temperature and climate to our beautiful GTA here. So good luck not catching sleep, praying 5 times, wearing sandals, burqas, dashikis, getting rid of all taxis, replacing them with camels. And I've heard he's also a communist. So if I'm not mistaken, he's half related to Justin Trudeau, the unofficial bastard son of Fidel Castro. I believe he may also be ancestrally directed to Castro and or Trudeau himself. He's a full-blown communist commie son of a bitch who wants to take all the money and starve the rest of y'all's out. So good luck with that. Good luck with that. He's a commie. He likes to wear red and red only, and he has Maoist ideologies. He wants to, promise things, and then I don't know how it'll go, but these are things I've heard. The most disturbing was the fact that he's eating with his feet. I cannot believe it is. You don't get to eat with your feet and become the mayoral. You gotta, that is. I'm not a fan of eating. I won't even eat with my hands. Not here, like, what about sandwiches? This, I won't even do that, son. I will fucking know. It's either forks, knives, and spoons, or I'm going, if I see, a sandwich, I'm just gnawing that shit. No, you don't see my hands on any buns, unless those buns are biological ebony buns. You know what I'm talking about? Fucking right there, dude. Unless we're talking about some big beautiful pog, unless we're talking about, then you'll see these hands get on some delicioso beef. But yeah, so because that's the thing, you start eating with your hands and your feet. Next thing, that's how you just get the food on your anus, and that's what it is. That's where it starts spiraling down a hole, then you're smearing food all over your body, you're making a mess, your kids are wondering what the fuck is going on. You're like, oh, it's just like a food fetish thing that we have. So it is a scary time, but also, who knows? I don't know. Generally, I want everybody to do well. I want New York to do well. I want America to do well. I want Canada to do well. I want everybody doing well. I don't want nobody not doing well. But when I see certain things that I'm not particularly aware of, I know how to form an opinion. So those are my thoughts on it. How do I feel about it by now, you're asking? How I feel about it is what I just said. What I just said. You know exactly how I feel about it. So there you have it. Commie jihadist. It's going to be probably beheadings in New York soon. Hanging the gays, throwing them off buildings. Free transition probably for everybody, because that's the way it goes when it's Sharia law. Good luck. Good luck. What else is going on? On a positive note, on a beautiful positive note, a cop in Shai City, if I'm not mistaken, beautiful, beautiful cop. This doesn't get enough recognition, doesn't get enough, because we hear horrible shit all the time, stuff like this that doesn't get much attention. I like to take this time, if I could say, shout out to this beautiful cop, this beautiful man with a badge who went out there and Heimlich the bitch who was choking behind the wheel, and she just kind of slowly but surely just, swerved off the road. Nothing happened. He got out, she's choking, Heimlich the bitch, set her on her way, and she safely drove away into the sunset. Now, the image was grainy. I wasn't able to get more information. We are still trying to figure out, was this bitch actually hot or not? Because at the end of the day, if we could, I don't know. To be honest, I don't have the answers. A lot of people are like, was she at least a 7? Was she at least a 7? I don't have that information. Again, the images were grainy. This was a beautiful act of heroics. he may not have even cared about that, but I know what the masses and the populace thinks about. So I'm sorry, I don't have these. She could have been an uggo, a straight up dog. She could have been just, and she could have been, hovering around the ones, twos, maybe even in the low negatives. And this because he's professional. He got in there and Heimlich the shit out of her. Not on my watch, he said. Not when this guy's around, he said that, and he saved her. So regardless of what she looks, she could have been, she could have that look on her face that gives children nightmares. That's the type of, but he did it. He saved her. I don't know. You don't either, because the images were great. I'm still trying to get, as soon as we go back, and I guess some people are going to be fired today, but we will find the images and find out if she was at least worthy of, saving her. But again, professional doing their job. Hats off to you, sir. Gesundheit. L'chaim. So there you go. That's just professionals doing their thing. No matter what the public pressures them to, they say and do the right thing. Sometimes they might not even, have the backing of but that doesn't matter. You go and do the right thing. You try to do at least the right thing. And he did that. She might be a disgusting pig running around now, fucking choking again. Sometimes you're like, what if we just let him choke and because she could be a repeat offender, just fucking choking behind the wheel. So you let them off and just hope that they find their way. But really, it's a toss-up. Nobody knows. What else is going on? There's been a study or a research study maybe of sorts that has potentially linked melatonin use to heart disease. I'm not quite sure what the study entails, and I'm not sure how accurate it is or not, but that's what I'm going, that's the information that I have, and that's what I'm going with. So melatonin apparently, it's a hormone released in the brain. It monitors your sleep cycle, your circadian rhythm, and when you sleep and when you don't sleep and all that stuff. So there's a pill you can take that does the same thing. It helps apparently, and you take that to go to sleep. Apparently people take melatonin to go to sleep. Apparently now there may be a link to heart disease. I don't know how factual it is, but I do want to see low-key, because I enjoyed the whole Tylenol thing that went down a few weeks ago, months ago, maybe. Was it a month ago? A few weeks ago? Doesn't matter. I do want to see a sort of, can we see a repeat of that? Every once in a while, even if the med is good, it doesn't matter. I do want to see President Trump, while he's still, because we got another 3 years, and then who knows what kind of communist jihadist shit we might see in the future. So enjoy the good times while at least we're going through. I do want to see President Trump get on there and give a speech about melatonin. I wouldn't take it if I were you. You're gonna die. I do want to see that speech as well. You're gonna get the shakes. Take the melatonin at your own risk. You're gonna get the shakes. Withdrawal is hard. Your baby's gonna be dumb. It's gonna be a beautiful baby before, and then after it's gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe this beautiful baby turned into a hideous monster. Keep him away from me. And I also want to see beautiful RFK Jr. get in there. I don't recommend anybody taking melatonin. There's a direct link between taking melatonin and being extremely unhealthy, and also maybe even trans. We're still trying to figure out if there's a correlation and causation between taking melatonin and turning trans, but we sure do know that it helps cause heart disease. If you want to take heart disease and bump it up a little bit, take more melatonin, but do what you will at your own risk. And I also want to simultaneously see people rub melatonin in their baby's eyelids, just, IV drip that melatonin, because it's fun. You gotta have fun. I want to see all sides just getting along and having fun all around. It's beautiful. I do want to see that. Melatonin kills, apparently, so that's the take. Melatonin will turn you into another race of human, even though we're all the same, but you'll change colors if you take melatonin. Do Do you want to prolapse? Take more melatonin. Oh my God, people are becoming amputees because of melatonin. Causes malaria. I don't know, but it's fun to say. Taking melatonin will turn you into Benjamin Button. Good luck taking your children when you're actually taking dumps and diapers. Good luck with that. What else is going on? I believe there's a potentially military action that might be going on in Nigeria. To my Nigers. Why? Because apparently there's Islamist militants targeting Christians in Nigeria. That's why we might be going into Nigeria. So there's a lot of places we might be going into. We might be going into Venezuela. We might be going into Mexico. We might even now be going into Nigeria. And things are in terms of like, we might be going into a lot of things. People need to get this shit, okay? It's not just the United States of America. It's the United. I've said this from the beginning. I just want to fast forward to a bunch of stuff. We could just accelerate this shit. Accelerationism is sometimes a good. Just if we could just make it the United Americas, just all of it, just become United States of the world. That's what it should be. So we might, if we see something, and we will not only just say something, we will go in there and do something. So if you're targeting beautiful Christians, in a world where, going in there and we are not targeting Christians. We are targeting. I just want to take this time and say we are equally. If you pay attention and don't listen to the fake news, you will notice we were targeting both the Christians and the Muslims equally. We do not discriminate when it comes to attacking and targeting groups of people. We are just wanting to make sure that we are not single-handedly picking our Christians over here in Nigeria. We are actually having a lot of infighting between the different religious groups. They could be Muslim as well. So I do want to say it could be that. It could be that they're not just targeting, which is, at least you could say, if that's the case, you could say it's not just the Christians. They might be picking amongst themselves as well. But who knows? But if we want to get in there, we will get in there. You just fucking tighten up your act, Nigeria, and everywhere else too. Because god damn it, we got guns. Feels good to have guns. Before you go pointing fingers and saying we are killing Christians, not only Christians we are killing, it might be some local tribes who are beefing, might be somebody practicing witchcraft, who knows? We are trying to get to the bottom of it, but you do not come in here and just simply say we are killing Christians. Killing Christians and Muslims and maybe some of these small hats. I'm just letting you know, do not go in there thinking that you are gonna come in here and say that it's mostly, right now some videos might be emerging that it's mostly Christians, but again, we do also take care of, turn into Nigerian French towards the end. Doesn't mean you get the point. Different voices, all is fun to do. It's fun to do, mate. You know what I mean? Again, go back to the voices. What if I was born in Nigeria, dude? Same person, but born in... Would I be talking like this at the time? Would I be talking like this to you? Would I have a sexy, beautiful, low voice and talking to you like this? Have the podcast just, fucking skyrocket to the stratosphere? If I were born, or at least raised. I love it when, oh my God, Nigerian women, when they're talking, they go, I don't know what that is, but they have it's catch little things in people's vernacular and just the way of talking. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's like confirming something, concurring something, agreeing with something, or like saying, hold it there. Is it like, is it? I don't know what it is, but it's so cool to hear that shit. I love voices. All I'm saying is that we're here. else is going on, man? Military action in Nigeria. That's right, boys and girls, ladies and gents. I believe, it's Jesse Eisenberg, if I'm not mistaken. Jesse Eisenberg, that's right. Beautiful Jesse Eisenberg. I got lost in the sauce in terms of the voices. I do enjoy the voices. Leave a comment if you too enjoy the voices. Jesse Eisenberg of Hollywood, California, located in the West Coast, is donating his kidneys, I believe, to a stranger. Well, not both of them, just one of them. He's donating a kidney to a complete stranger. Jesse Eisenberg is a talented Hollywood. He's not like, he's not old, he's not young, he's not young, he was young when I was growing up, he was young, he's still, he's not old, he's there, he's a good age, I don't know why we got said, it's just growing up with people you watch, and it doesn't matter, the point is, he's talented, he's been in a lot of movies, he just made a movie with the other guy, and they won an Oscar together, the Culkin brother, doesn't matter. The point is, Macaulay Culkin, and then this is about Jesse. All right, this is about Jesse. Is what I'm trying to say. He's been in other movies too, like American Ultra, and that was a good one too. And he's been in other movies like Now You See Me 1, or it was just Now You See Me at that time. It was just when it just came, it was just Now You See Me, no number, and then there was Now You See Me twice. Now You've Seen Me once. You'll see me again. That's 2 times. You've seen me and then you didn't see me. That's 2 times. The seeing and then the unseeing, which is a movie about magicians and the gift of sight. And then it's recently, I believe, the new one's coming out. If I'm not mistaken, there's going to be a 3rd one. The 3rd one's going to be out. It's Now You See Me, Now You Don't. That's thrice you've seen me and you've pretended like you don't know me, but we know each other. Or no, wait, it's about magicians, gift of sight, memory, remembering people's names. You've seen me, now you don't. 3 times. 3. It's a prime number. Carry that. Doesn't. The point is that he's a talented, beautiful young man, and he's from Hollywood, and he's donating his kidney. I just want to say, don't do it, Jesse. Jesse, don't. If somebody could please. I don't have that kind of reach, but somebody who does can please reach out and say, Jesse, don't. Keep your kidney. We're in Hollywood, baby. Make it into give a fake kidney. Give somebody else's kidney and say you gave your own. Give somebody else's. There's a whole department in Hollywood. I've heard of this shit. You guys know what I'm talking about. The same people who are in charge of the adrenochrome, just get one of those guys to find you a kidney on the black market and then give one of those kidneys to the stranger. You can still say you did a good thing. It doesn't have to come from you because you're talented and you're gifted and you're doing wonderful things. Just keep it in there. You're like, one's good enough for just keep it in there. Don't go under the surgery knife unless you really absolutely must have to. You don't need to do it, man. You don't need to do it. Find a family overseas, someone who's really in need, who'll get their kid, pay him some money. You guys. Give them some money. Give them like 10 grand. That's like $1 billion to them. Just toss it in their face and grab them. Shove $25K. You get to kick somebody in the 3rd world country in the chest. Have them fall in a tub. Stab them yourself if you like. We can make it happen for 100 G's. I'm pretty sure we can make this happen for 100 G's. You kick somebody in the 3rd world in the chest. They fall in a tub. You stab them. You retrieve the kidney yourself. Just because it's nice to know how it's done. All right, it's easy to just say, oh, deliver the food to me, raise a chicken, grab an egg out of a rooster's ass and be like, what's this egg doing in a rooster's ass? Be involved in the process or not, whatever. Call DoorDash, get a Vaymo, it doesn't matter. The point is, Jesse, don't do it. I would not do this, and I've done so much, and I wouldn't do. I will not. That's, when it comes to donating body parts, no thanks. Not this guy. Make the artificial ones. I don't want to. And you're like, what if one day you rely on That would definitely probably change my mind. But until that day, and should that day no, I hope it never comes for any of you out there either. Yeah, that's just how I feel about donating blood. I'm not quite sure if I can donate blood. Can people? Because I took steroids when I was younger. I don't think you can. I took steroids and I got a few tats. Are tats okay for donating blood? I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. But I'm not gonna fight. Want to drain me of my blood? Are you a fucking leech? Get your own blood. Get your own blood. You gotta find out what your type is. No, my type's not good enough for you. All of a sudden, gotta get to know the type. Picky motherfucker. First they're telling you to give blood, then you gotta figure out what kind of blood type. Let's just take it. Either take it or, don't ask a gift horse in the asshole and wonder why there was a fella who took a horse dick to the anus and died. Don't do that. And also, like, something about gifting horses who are involved in bestiality porn. I'm not quite sure, but you know what to do. Saddle up. Let's travel together to France for a second if we can. Vive la Paris. Vive la France. Chef Boyardee. Friendship. French toast, French fries, dirty French cheese, dirty French feet on dirty grapes. French females getting down and dirty with grapes. The point is that the French government has come down on Shein, and from Shein is an e-commerce business. And the French government just recently threatened Shein. The French government just recently threatened Shein. I don't know what they threatened it with, but the thing that they threatened for was because apparently this e-commerce business is was trying to or did something. They were selling childlike sex toys on their e-commerce platform. That's right. Childlike sex toys. They're selling this shit, and the French said, cut this shit out. All right, cut this shit out. If there's going to be any sort of pervert activity, it's going to be coming from. If there's going to be any pedophilic activity, it's going to be from potentially allegedly from the president's wife onto him allegedly. That's the Shein, cut this shit out. All right, who knows how old she was? Much older when they met. Emmanuel and Bridget Macron, but that's beside the point. Allegedly, all of it allegedly. But then again, if it's going to be going down, it's going to be. You don't come in our territory, Shein, and just sell childlike sex toys. Not overtly, at least. You can't do that shit. It's fucked up, Shein. You're an international, global conglomerate e-commerce business. Patent pending. Limited corp. Jargon. Business. Yeah, you can't sell that shit. Apparently, that's because you can't advertise it. At least you can't advertise it. You can't sell it either. I'm pretty sure you can't sell it either, but you definitely can't advertise it because it's like what you could do because you got the products. I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do. What you should do is just rebrand them and say non-childlike but non-sex toys for people. Because you can't stop adults from buying. I'm not condoning anything. I'm not agreeing with any of this shit, by the way. I just want to preface this, but I do want to say you're not going to stop people from buying toys and fucking them. That's my point. But all I'm saying is I believe you can't advertise. You can't say childlike sex. I don't know what the exact phrasing on the advertising was, but you can't do that. What you can do is just sell the dolls, just label them regular dolls, not for, it's still coming out with them fucking, mouth open and ready to right? You know, but you can't advertise it. You can probably have it still, just be like a regular doll for anyone. Because if you have it, then that's promoting pedophilic tendencies, which we'll get to by the end of this show. Stay with us still, because this is not the end. This is not the end. It's somewhere in the middle towards the end. It doesn't matter. The point is that, yeah, but nobody's stopping. You can buy regular toys. I'm not even saying I wouldn't do it. Most of you probably don't do it, but maybe there's some people out there like, but what if you could buy a regular doll and fuck it, and then that's basically, it was a toy, whether it was made for adults or children, doesn't matter, but you fucked it, now you fucked the toy, and you fucked the doll essentially, and there you go, you used, maybe it was a baby doll, there you go. So you can't really stop people. It sucks that you can, but there's probably some people who are doing that, small population, but still probably, right? You can't even stop people. What if it's action figures? What if it's, because you can buy sex toys for adults. It could be a blow-up doll, but it has to be a grown, it has to be an adult toy. It can't be resembling children. But again, it's not stopping sickos from buying just regular children's toys and then fucking them. You could, because if it's like, what if it's an action figure? You could definitely do that. You could definitely do, but it's not childlike, and it's not, the action figure itself, unless it's an underage action figure hero. Then that's, again, don't do, but it's not gonna stop people from doing that if they're gonna, you could take the Hulk, baby Hulk, let's say, teenage Hulk. You could take teenage Hulk, the toy, and fuck it if you like. I'm not saying you should or should. I'm just saying that it's weird, but you can't. The takeaway, the moral of this is Shen. Okay, this is a global platform or something. You can't be advertising overtly, because and people have made that argument. Maybe we should give these guys and gals who have those tendencies the toys so that they would stay away from the actual, and that's. Is it better? Is it better that you get the sickos to fuck the toys instead of the children? I don't know. But Shen, you cannot for now advertise it. You still got the goods. I say sell it, but under a different name. Just be like regular dolls. Nothing to do. I know the whole, and it's got probably like a full blown badge, and like but you can't sell that and advertise it. You got to just be like, this is how we make our dolls. Regular toy for and all of it is messy. It's messy. Some things are complex and complicated in this, and this is what we get into. We sometimes get into all of it, most of the times. So the takeaway is, Xian, work on your advertising and your PR. Maybe take them back, rebrand them, and in 6 months resell them with just a completely different name. Okay? You could take a Labubu and fuck it technically. You could take it as that. Is that any more weird than it's? Again, I'm not a fan of any of this. I'm just saying, what's the difference? You could take a Labubu and fuck its face for as long as for 3 hours. Is that, not saying you should or shouldn't, but you shouldn't. But in my opinion, you should. But you technically could. There's nothing stopping you. Speaking of pedophilic tendencies, I believe Leslie, her last name, Leslie Truntelange, that's her name. She's a school board member in Maine, if I'm not mistaken, some sort of school board member in Maine. I think she stepped down or is maybe resigning, or I'm not quite sure what step of the process she's in, but she went on and talked to the board and gave a little speech, and basically said, it's a new day. We're learning things, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of pedophilic tendencies and pedophiles, apparently, according to Leslie Truntelange, parents are the new pedophiles. That's right. You out there, if you are out there with a child, you are the pedophile. You are the pedo. Because she made a point that if you are a parent and you're concentrating or focusing or raising awareness as to why there are breaking of barriers and intermingling when it comes to children, specifically boys and girls, in each other's sport categories. She's saying if you're focused on that, if you want boys to just remain in boys sports and girls to remain in girls sports, and for boys to remain in boys bathrooms and for girls to remain in girls' bathrooms, you have pedophilic tendencies and that you are a pedophile. I do want to say there's levels to many of these things because we are learning and growing on a daily basis. This has now actually come on top and trumped regular pedophiles. There's a tier system to life and there's levels as we are learning and growing. It's one thing to be a pedophile, but pedophilic tendencies is actually worse now because pedophiles are far and few in between, still out there. But parents are, this is you right there. You could be watching this, you're a parent. If you're concerned about keeping the sexes and the genders separated, segregated, you have pedophilic tendencies. According to Leslie Trentelange, and you, my friend, are probably more dangerous because there's more of you. Think about how many of you are out there, and so there's tiers. Both of them are probably not great categories of individuals to be a part of, but you might be a part of that group who has pedophilic tendencies because you're a parent and you're like, oh, children should have individual bathrooms based on their sex and genders. But that's, again, we're learning and we're growing. Again, this is a whole soup. It's a soup, and we're stirring the pot and we're mixing and matching. And times, again, you are going to be getting transitioned in New York and praying 5 times and learning about your true nature. And apparently, if you want your daughter to be safe in her change room at school and practice her, gymnastics or play her own rugby and you have a problem with a boy who is maybe 13 or 14 going into that same change room and, whipping his dick out and maybe assault. If you have a problem with a strange boy assaulting your daughter in the change room, the problem is you are the pedophile, actually. Technically, you are worse than a pedophile. You have pedophilic tendencies because you want that boy not to have access to the young children's female bathroom. So there you go. Learning stuff, and that's, it's good to point out the problems and figure out what needs to be changed. But I'm glad we're having these conversations. In the United Kingdom, in the UK, beautiful UK, London, Governor, Big Ben. UK just made choking porn illegal, or rather criminal. It's illegal, it's criminal to now have choking porn in the UK. You're not allowed to make it, you're not allowed to create it, you're not allowed to, watch it either. They're gonna get rid of it. They'll do that for you, so don't worry about it. The platforms will do that. They'll use the AI, they'll vet the videos, no more choking porn in the UK. And this is, I suppose, because they wanna, there's pros and cons to everything. I'm not one of these guys that says don't watch porn or do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting anybody else. That's one of my pillars. That's one of my mottos. That's one of my my ethoses. That's good enough. The point is, there's no more choking porn. So I'm not sure when it's gonna be put into effect. So if you are into that, I'd say watch a whole lot of it, and by the time because it's going to take some time for it to take effect, but I think it happens immediately, I think. So watch it as much as you can before it goes away. Anybody else who is choking is, because I'm not a fan personally. I'm not a fan. Too much. It's I like the basic female just ejacking, or like a couple of lesbians just licky and every once in a while a nice hairy bush in my face, but that's my preference. The point is that if you're into the chokey choke, it's going to be gone. You're like, what about people practicing it? If you like to practice it, I suppose you still, it's good on you, I suppose, if you're into it. Some people might want to be choked, male or female. Some people might want to choke, male or female. These are, consenting adults doing things to themselves. But could you choke yourself? You could definitely choke yourself. You could ask to be choked. You could choke others if they want you to choke them. It's a whole thing. Again, too much. For me, it's too much. It's a little, I just like to, the puss in the asshole and the titties that's good enough for me, but some people you might want to go a little bit into it. Again, to each their own. I'm not saying do what. The good thing is that, yeah, because it's good to get rid of that part, because yeah, I guess you do have young people getting access to porn, especially because everybody has phones and everything. You don't want that message to be normalized, that like choking bitches, or in some cases males, but mostly, you know, the bitches getting choked out, that's normal. That's a good thing. But it does, you know, it really puts the onus on you. Like if you're into choking or being choked, you're gonna have to, like, it's back on you. It's on you now. You're gonna have to go make it happen at your own privacy. So, and if you can't find anybody to choke, you choke yourself. Use anything. You could kind of like find a buff guy, or you know, like just a metal post somewhere and just like run into it, clothesline yourself. You could you know, take your head, stick it out the car window, and like slowly raise the window so like it chokes you there a little bit. You could be like that bitch that was driving in the car and just fucking start choking, and you know, if somebody comes to Heimlich you, good on you. If not, then you can choke some more. You could get food in the wrong hole. You could choke. You could do that anywhere, really. In a restaurant, you could choke there. You could what else could you do? You could, you know, friggin' get a rope, wrap it around your neck, and just choke. You could choke like that. You could waterboard yourself. You could, you know, put a cloth over your mouth and eyes and your nose, cover it, and then pour liquid all over yourself and then choke on that. You could submerge yourself with weights in a pool and, like, you know, take a heavy, you know, take like a 90-pound dumbbell, tie it to your waist, and take a deep dive and choke underwater. You could, when it's raining, plug your nose, hold your mouth up to the sky and keep it open until you choke. And you could do Chinese water torture method, choking style, not on the forehead, get the drips in your throat, you'll die. You could, so, you know, you could still, but again, the porn is now outlawed and is now criminal. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You could still choke by yourself or with other people if everybody's agreeing and consenting. And that's, again, in this day and age, I wouldn't recommend it. In any other day and age, I still wouldn't recommend it. But again, if you were out there into the chokey choke, you know, just keep doing it until you know, really heavily call. You want brain damage, essentially. The best, you want to do it to the point where you start slurring your words. You start fucking, you know, having a weird heart rhythm beat. You know, you want your circadian to be just out there clubbing. You want to be choked to the point where you are having to find your genitalia on the loose end of a keychain at a local bar in a lost and found box. That's what you wanted in life, and that's what you'll get. What am I even talking about? It's Wednesday, and this brings me to Cambridge here in Ontario, Canada. Beautiful Cambridge, city of Cambridge. There's a petition being sent out to be signed so that the city allows the old cock-a-doodle-doo back in the backyards. That's right. Having a petition in Ontario, in a city in Ontario, to allow chickens in the backyard. I'm for this. I'm genuinely for this. I like chickens. I like animals. I like roosters. I like all animals, really. There's not an animal I can't. Just maybe the mosquito, but even then, it's still, you know, it is nice to swat a mosquito on your arm and be like, oh, there you go, you greedy fuck. Yeah, I'll watch them. Take as much blood as you want. Yeah, you're gonna feel a little bit dizzy right now because I'm eating well now. Life's really good. Wham! Right there in front of your friends, just fucking splashed in it. I won't even wash up or clean up. I'll just let that arm kind of just linger on with that dead mosquito. You see a blood splatter. You see a, you know, little bit of small yellow tape caution to the other. You know, I'll take, by nighttime, I'll take that little mosquito, you know, get a rope and hang him from a lampshade or a lamp post on my arm, or just low key, just, you know, print out little prints, a little tiny advertising. This is you. This is what'll happen to you if you come and bite this guy. And I'll post it all over my body for all the other mosquitoes to see. Have you seen this mosquito? It's just all fucking, you know, just exploded all over the place. And I'll run a little ad campaign on my body, letting mosquitoes know what's up. What have we been talking about? That's right, cock-a-doodle-doo, backyard chickens, yay or nay? Backyard chickens, yay or gay? I say yay. There's so many pros. There's, you get the chickens, which is good for fucking, it's nice to have animals in your area, in your household, in your backyard. It's nice to have pets. So there's one reason, because pets are awesome. Chickens are also, they're cute as fuck. They're really cute. My mother's uncle had a bunch of chickens and a few roosters, wild roosters, which chased me a couple of times as a young man, and they could be frightening actually. Wild roosters are actually frightening. They could, for a child, that is, I'm not afraid of them now. Fucking come at me, but a wild rooster when you're a kid, when you're like 3, 4, 5 years old, chasing you, that is, with the fucking talons are coming at you, and the fucking loose labia under his neck, and over his head also another loose labia. It was colorful, beautiful, but also vicious. Made me run fast, and I also fucking, can't touch this. But the point is, yeah, I like chickens and roosters. They make great pets, give you as a source of food, which you'll have to physically go into a rectum, and you got to retract that. So that's a process that, again, getting in touch with it's not just, oh, where do my eggs come from? You're going in there and you're fucking your chicken until it gets pregnant. Or you gotta bring a couple of cocks into you. Or you want other cocks fucking your chicken? Or you're gonna fuck your own chickens? Think about that. Don't be a cuck having other cocks go in there and do the heavy lifting. Get your chickens pregnant yourself. Sit over some of the eggs as well with them. It's not just, just get a chicken and let it lay. You got to spend time with these chicks. Of course, having one of the only downsides I could see for some people is if you because the roosters will get up and they'll cock-a-doodle-doo. They will. That noise could be a little bit, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful noise. What if it's happening to you every day and you are one of those sensitive sleepers? It could be a little bit, it's part of nature, low key. We've been so removed from so many natural elements that the most beautiful sounds to us sometimes, I can't believe this bird is chirping. It's a beautiful bird. It's a beautiful, gorgeous bird. So, too bad. So sad. Can we get these chickens in the backyard, please? If not, then we will take to the streets until our nips bleed, until our children are tired and want to go back home, and we will stay in the streets until our women get their period, and we will stay even longer until they cramp up and go into early menopause. We will stay there until we get these chicks in the backyard. So I'm for it. I'd like hopefully more people to be for it as well. Of course, if you don't like chickens or roosters making noises in your neighborhood, that is I don't know what to tell you. That sucks for you. Let's get these chickens. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, cock-a-doodle-doo. Peace out, bitches.